Hi, thanks for joining us for the Guildford.Games interview sessions. We are at Supermassive. It's all very exciting and a little bit scary, but I'm joined by Tara and Lydia. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I will hand over to your good selves to tell us who you are and what you do for Supermassive.
After you.
Oh, thank you. So I'm Tara. I'm the digital content creator at Supermassive Games, working with the social media team, putting content out there on all our different social media channels.
Fab.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm a games designer for Supermassive Games, obviously.
Cool. There we go. Yeah, that's why you're here.
That's
I've
why I'm
heard.
here, yeah.
Wicked. Okay. Just give us a little bit of info on how you got to this point in your career, your journey to here.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, stop it, you're so nice. I went to uni to do games design in Kent, and then was lucky enough to go into an incubator course at UCA Farnham, so ended up in Surrey, and then I saw a job posting for Supermassive and thought, we'll give it a go, we'll see what happens.
Cool. Yeah.
And then thankfully got the interview, got in, and it's all history now, yeah.
So this is your first gig?
First proper gig, yeah, I know. Very lucky.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I still get excited every day to come to work. Honestly, it's really cool.
Fab.
Yeah.
Tara, what about you?
I think mine's probably a bit different. So I did film production at University of Chichester, and I went into like the marketing videography side of communications at the police. So that's why I was in Surrey, because I worked at Surrey Police, and then I went into esports. And did a little production side that way.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, okay.
But then that didn't end too well. So then I saw a job posting here at Supermassive for the digital content creator role. So I applied, got the interviews and got in, and yeah, ever since just been working here, and like Lydia, just enjoy working here every day. It's actually really great. Like no day is the same. So.
Yeah. So also fairly fresh for you.
Fairly
this
fresh,
industry.
yeah, very fresh, very new to it. So
I like it. Okay, well, what would you say is one or some of the reasons that Supermassive is such a great place to work? Why do you love coming in here every day?
I think it's just the people like working here. So my role is very interactive with people, both internally and externally. And I've worked in places before where people really don't want to be involved in any content that goes out. But here, everyone is always very keen to help us promote their work. And it feels very rewarding to be able to help showcase people's work. And it's just a very safe environment, I find, as well. I've been able to adapt on my skill set and also feel complimented on the work I have done without having to like ask for it. So yeah, and like I said, no 2 days the same, and it's just really nice to work on really interesting things that I've not done before. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. And the way that the games at Supermassive are kind of skewing towards at the moment, with your kind of multiple options for storylines, must be a content creator's dream.
Oh, without a doubt, because it gives you like just so many more options for content going out there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And there's always, of course, you don't want to spoil anything too mega, but there's so many opportunities to share things that people just may not have seen at all.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Okay, Lydia.
The horror. Absolutely,
It's
the horror, absolutely. I was terrified of horror games and horror films growing up, and then, I don't know, when the job came up, I was like, oh, actually, a whole company doing just horror, that's interesting. And ever since then, it's just the creative freedom, it's the horror, it's being able to explore how far you can push something before your director goes, are you all right? Are you meant to? It's that, and it's the people, again. I work with so many talented people, people that mentor me when I was my first year here, and now I'm working with them on the same level, and we just bounce off each other all the time. Yeah. So the people and the creativeness, I guess. Yeah,
I like that too, and that is a huge part of it. I mean, I remember when I was starting out all those years ago. It has been quite a few years, to be fair, but. It was part of the, you say the people, of course, at game studios, everyone's really passionate and really nerdy in all the perfect ways, and everything is just so enjoyable. Every minute of work can be, give or take, really enjoyable. But when you come into a studio as a green member of the team, and then you've got someone quite senior saying, hey, that's really cool. Yeah. What it does for, you're walking on air for at least a week. Like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe they said that about me. And that just kind of, keeps growing essentially. And then when you do get to that level, it's because you've you know that you've earned it. Do you know what I mean? You've really put the work in, and people really care about what you're doing. You're a vital member of the team. It's a lovely way to kind of work up, I think. Staying in the same place.
Definitely.
Very, very cool. So why do you think Guildford is so important to the kind of wider games industry within the country and world? Let's go global, why not? Let's keep it all rolling.
After you.
Okay, I think it's important because I think there's just so much growth here. Like, things only seem to be getting bigger, and you know, the level of work coming out of Guildford, not even just from Supermassive, but I think from like other companies as well, it's being recognised across the world, which I think is really cool to, one, be part of that, but also see the difference it's making, you know, from personal experience of seeing our games being out there and the impact, you know, people are noticing about what we're putting out.
Yeah. So
I think that's you know, a very important thing, that there's only more growth to come, and being part of that growth is very, very cool.
Yeah, super exciting, isn't it? Just to contemplate the future.
Yeah.
What may be happening.
Yeah, and just, you know, seeing what already is out there, and to think there can only be more, you know, new things, you know, growth on things that are already existing. It's just,
more studios,
more
potentially,
studios,
you know, as the natural kind of ebb and flow of development takes us through. We tend to see, you know, the shedding and then the building, and it all kind of constantly growing. So very, very cool. Very cool. What would you say, Lydia?
Honestly, basically the same thing. Definitely. It's just, and I think kind of what also helps is the community. So obviously, you know, you go to the pub on the Friday and you see like EA down there, and you're like, oh, this is a real thriving, nerdy community full of creatives here, which is really cool. There's a new art space in Guildford as well, which is for local artists, and I think it's just, there's a whole push for art and storytelling, and it's just a creative town. It's just a really creative town, and I think that can only make things better.
Yeah.
Agreed. Really, Agreed. I think that makes sense. So what would you say, if we look at the future of Supermassive, and of course we won't go into any details about the future of Supermassive, however, what are you excited about when it comes to what's next for you guys? You know, you're always so busy, you're always busying yourselves with any number of projects, is you know, the rumblings I hear, not that I know anything. But yeah, what are you excited about? As far as the team here.
Okay, I have to be really careful my NDA now. Let me think. What am I excited? Yeah, thank you. Honestly, it's just this projects we have coming up. Again, I wish I could tell the world, but like, it's amazing. We are going from strength to strength, and with the technology moving forward as it is, and the more stuff we can do with that technology now, there's so much cool stuff coming out, which is, again, can't tell you, but
super secret.
Really, really cool though, I promise. You have my word for it, yeah.
Although, if you wouldn't mind finding some time in the next couple of weeks to help me desensitize myself to horror, so that I could actually play the games, that would be great.
We'll have a one-to-one. It's all right.
I'd
I'll
love
hold
to
your
get
hand
just
while
set
we're
up.
going through it. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's fine.
Before we get to all the new exciting stuff, if I can just catch up with everything.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you. Right, what would you say, Tara?
Again, I think it's pretty much the same thing. It's, I think, great thing obviously with our roles being very different is I'm able to really take in a lot of like the audience reactions to things. So knowing what we've got coming up, and you know, seeing the projects that are happening, but knowing how fans will react to that, I think is a really cool thing, and being able to like prepare for that and the sort of content going out. But yeah, it's pretty much the same sort of thing, is that obviously not even being able to talk about it, but just good vibes are coming. Like, it's going to be really, really good.
We can see the light shining out of your eyes. Like,
just take the smile.
It's good.
And know
it's good. Yeah. And what I've noticed, I mean, obviously, predominantly doing social media myself for my day job. I only get to do this every now and then. But your community is hardcore.
Oh yeah.
It's really hardcore. Like, there are people in there that actively seek out every single option in those games. There are people that know details that, I mean, just mind-blowing. It's really
I think
cool.
it's a massive compliment to have those fans on all different social medias, you know, like Reddit threads dedicated to it all. On Twitter, you know, we have, you know, followers that respond to everything and will reshare everything. And
kind of position themselves within the Guildford community because they love Supermassive so much. And now they're very much a part of what we're doing with Guildford.Games. It's amazing.
And it's been really cool, almost kind of, you know, when posts go out there, like talking with them about it and creating conversations with them, which we've been able to do within the last year of like growing what we can do on socials. And I think it's nice because I don't think they expect it. Like, you know, as the social media user, most people don't expect to ever get replies from like celebrities and all that sort of stuff. Not that Supermassive Games is a celebrity, but when you see people so passionate about a game or a product coming out from us, to then reply to that, you can see the appreciation, and it's just nice building those bridges and working on a collaborative effort there. So
it's really interesting because my number one priority as a community person from the beginning of my career has been to it's really interesting to hear you say build bridges, because I always say break down walls.
Yeah.
We're doing opposite
I'm
things,
the
but it's the
bricks from
same
your
thing.
walls to build our bridges.
It's good, it's good. But you know, kind of letting the game playing community know that no, we're just people. We're not superstars. We're not, you know, of course there are some incredibly talented people that we, you know, get to work with and interview and everything else, but we're just people that love games. You know, even your Peter Molyneux's of the world. If you were to walk into a room and say, "Hey, Populous, that was cool, wasn't it?" You'd just have a nice chat. You know, and that's being able to remove that level of kind of pedestalness. We're going with the nurses. Is such a great thing. I thought I could talk about community all day long. I love it.
It is great though. It's an important factor that I think no matter what industry you're in, you need to realise that you can't succeed if they don't help you. And, you know, you've got to show some appreciation and some love, and, you know, we get fan art and all sorts and everything, and we love it, so why not tell them?
And it's such a huge, the other side of it is it's such a huge boost to the studio when you share that kind of stuff internally and show them how excited people are getting. It's, you know, if something that you've worked on gets called out by the community, it just must be the most wonderful thing. Swoon all day. Honestly, I could talk about it all day. So you guys are growing. This is the first time I've been invited to your new studio, which is
welcome.
Very exciting.
It's lovely,
Thank you. I've got a visitor's pass and everything. Coffee machine's not working though. Not sure if anyone's told you. Yeah,
no.
Don't worry. I had a hot chocolate. I'll be fine. How do you? I mean, this question kind of traditionally came from lockdown. Traditional lockdown. Remember
way back when
the traditional lockdown we had. And kind of looking at the connection of the studio and how you all keep connected long distance when you're working from home and working collaboratively. But now there's distance between you guys just in your working day, right? Because you're in more than one place. So what does Supermassive do, or what do you guys kind of prioritise to make everyone still feel like they're connected in some way?
So I think overall, in terms of like, I guess the whole studio for like connectiveness, is that a word? I'm just going with the ness. So we have like studio events. Anytime we've had like a game launch, we have you know, launch parties and stuff. So for the recent Devil and Me, we had it here. So there is those efforts to kind of keep everyone together. But I think we do quite well in terms of also not the official, I guess, meetups or whatever, is that there is a lot of talk in teams and stuff to kind of make an effort with seeing each other and stuff. I'm quite lucky that my role, I can work across both studios, so I try and get here as much as I can, spending at the other one. But yeah, so we have, you know, studio events where we kind of get together. We had a Christmas event, and we had one in the summer. So, but as numbers are growing, I think even now we're kind of like, oh my gosh, how are we going to get everyone? Because it's just so great seeing every week, you know, so many new starters coming in. So yeah, there's definitely those kind of events that we hold and get to see everyone and catch up sometimes as well. So
that's it. When you're split, it's nice to just
but we
have
message each other sometimes on Teams.
Yeah, we talk on Teams all the time.
We've all got to have good relationships in order to do our best work.
Exactly.
So it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. So anything you'd like to add to that?
We do the odd Friday pub trip as well. Good. Yeah, good thing about Guildford is that there are a lot of pubs.
Great pubs too.
And really nice ones, So we often, everyone in the big group chat that we have against the two, in between the two studios, we're like, hey, come down Friday after work for a little sip. And we all come down and hang out, so it's really nice.
Normally it's just pub, question mark?
Yeah,
and like loads of thumbs.
And everyone's like, let's go. Yeah.
Pub, I thought you'd never ask.
Exactly.
Brilliant, brilliant. If there was someone out there listening to this interview, wondering how to get into the games industry, what advice would you like to give them?
The one thing I always tell people is just to make games. Even if it's board games, on paper, anything, that's like the main thing, because as soon as you get the creative juices flowing, you go from strength to strength. Skills are very easy to learn. And I think, it's just the passion to show if you're going to make it by yourself, oh, you can do it with a team. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just be friendly. Just be friendly, be open to being sociable and, you know, trying to get on with your co-workers and stuff like that. So you marry the two together with the passion and the creative, and you can actually push yourself to do it by yourself. Then if you can actually go and work with a team, oh, you're golden.
Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely golden, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I think I guess it works as well because obviously my role is outside of actually making the games, but I think it's keeping up to date with current, you know, trends and again, similar to the skill set is just if you have the passion for it, you can learn it. You know, I taught myself how to be a photographer and stuff like that, but only then grew on those skills in official job roles. So I think if you just keep practicing and keep, you know, showing the passion and putting together a portfolio of work, that's always really important. And I think just being a nice person as well, like you said, you know, if you show the willingness to learn and that you can get on with people, I think that will help massively in you know, in interviews, just showing that you have that drive to do it. So yeah.
Great advice, girls. Thank you. All right, big question. We're going there.
Okay.
Oh God, here we go.
Favourite Guildford game?
I'm sorry, Supermassive, but I have to say Fable 2. I'm really sorry.
That's fine by me. It fits perfectly with my motivations. That's all good.
No, it's a classic for a reason. It's so good. It was one of the ones I had growing up. It was just so good. Honourable mention, House of Ashes was the first game I ever worked on. Still holds a very nice place in my heart. But yeah, Fable 2 kind of gets a little bit up.
Well, it's, you know, it's as you said, it's a classic, and that time will come for these current Supermassive games, of course. But if we're looking at the longevity and history of Guildford, brilliant choice. Brilliant choice.
Thank you.
See, I'm just going to go House of Ashes because it was the first game I mean, I was only here a week when it came out, but it was the first game where I really got involved with it all. And yeah, so I'd have to say that. Yeah, so sorry, Fable 2, but
wow.
That was spicy,
I'm going to tell. I'm going to find every single developer and let them know.
Also, LinkedIn, here's our Facebook, here's our Instagram.
Fantastic choices, both of you, and thank you so much for coming to talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. This has been fun.
Anytime.
What's your favourite game?
Ooh.
Come up, Guildford.
Problem is, I've got two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm one of those. So, as discussed, Fable 3. I mean, I have to mention a Fable because Fable is my background and love and life and all of those wonderful things. Friends, everything is connected to Fable. But then my absolute all-time favourite. Little Big Planet. I love it. I love it. I don't even know if I choose two over. Maybe both of them. Like 2 is probably my favourite, but 1 is the OG. So
it's the best. Yeah. No, I get that.
I'll take them both.
Yeah.
As one.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, cool.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks.
That's all right.